Big news today on Gary Gensler. You do not want to miss this one. It is as juicy as it gets. We're going to break it all down for you. Make sure and stay tuned right here. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. Let's get started. Thanking our sponsor, and that is Tangem. You guys are looking at self-custody. You should be looking at self-custody. And what I mean by that, if you're brand new to crypto, the first thing you want to do is get yourself a wallet. Now, you can do software wallets, sure, you can go that route, or you can do hardware wallets and you can get those little clicky things with a USB drive, or you can go the route of Tangem. Tangem is a card that's very easy to stick right in your wallet, your physical wallet. You can carry one with you. They have a couple of options here, pretty simple. They have the new Tangem wallet, which gives you optional seed phrases. If you want to go that route, memorizing a seed phrase, kind of keeping it in there, or you can go the route that it's automated all in the card itself and the software. Check it out. Use the 3-card set. Make sure and use our link down below. It's going to give you some additional discount. And best of all, it helps the channel out. All right, let's go into a couple of things. I want to jump off with this first clip here today with Cathie Wood versus Mr. Gensler. Listen in.
We know the research people at the SEC. They know what they're talking about. They are really good. We've met the head of FinHub now, who reports directly to Chairman Gensler. They know so much, and they are so good that I believe this was much more Gary Gensler standing in the way. So this is Gary Gensler. He allowed, and I will say he because I think he's the gating factor here, why he allowed a Bitcoin futures ETF, which involves counterparty risk, and not a Bitcoin ETF, which does not involve counterparty risk. In fact, it is backed, ours would be backed by Bitcoin 1-for-1 in cold storage at Coinbase. That's why Grayscale has won its case. It is that argument. And I think Gary Gensler's personal Vietnam is coming around to haunt him. I do think the SEC is moving now. He has, in effect, said, hey, I'm not the only decision maker. There are 5 commissioners here. That means some of the research that we believe is percolating up to those commissioners might be getting through to them.
All right, I'm not sure that Cathie Wood has been watching our videos. Yes, it's been Gary Gensler. Yes, 100%. The interesting factor is who's the puppet master behind Gary Gensler, because that's really the story here. This is not about Gensler saying no. This is about somebody telling Gensler to say no. And I think we know who that is. That's Elizabeth Warren. And of course, the crypto army will continue to push, and until they get to a point where there's enough. He's too much political baggage. This is where VanEck comes in. VanEck and I, the team from VanEck and I had a chance to talk about this, and I point blanked him on, does he last? Listen in.
We're seeing a winning streak or a losing streak by the SEC. I'm on paper saying that Gary Gensler is going to be gone before the end of the year. The clock is kind of ticking on that, but there's a lot of examples of SEC chairs that preferred to step down after embarrassing losses rather than create a further distraction for their president. So that's my personal guess, is that this guy's not long for the seat.
All right, so I disagree. I think that it's probably going to be a lot longer, just because of the political issue. There's going to be a lot of baggage involved here, and there's a lot of we'll just call them special interests that will really guide this going forward. Now, you have this news right here. Finbold comes out. XRP community calls out U.S. government over terror financing allegations. And the interesting thing is the words they use. Terror financiers and other criminals use a form of financial system, new payment methods such as Bitcoin and Ripple. They use the term Ripple. Traditional methods of value transfer such as Hawala trade-based money laundering and cash couriers. This is, listen, all of this has been happening around the world forever in fiat. Sure, the one problem with crypto is that it's traceable and fairly forensic in terms of being able to break this down. So this is kind of an interesting statement for them to do that. Then you turn around and you have this right here, Taylor Swift and Ripple. Yes, Ripple. Fans can now purchase concert tickets in XRP. So you got some of it's funding all this, the bad stuff, and then you got it over here funding pop stars. So I'm not sure what message I'm getting, but it's definitely one that is being constructed out of DC. Here's what Meta Lawman had to say, and I think I kind of agree with him to a certain extent, again, because of the political position. Listen to this clip.
On Twitter, a lot of people believe, wow, it's inevitable that he'll be fired because he's this liability. We need to be careful In my business in litigation, talk about being careful, don't drink your own whiskey. And I think Gensler is receiving encouragement. And the president, I think, may be among those. Choke Point 2.0 is not an SEC initiative. It's a whole of government initiative. Best evidence of that is Elizabeth Warren, when announcing her reelection bid, made a point of saying she is putting together an anti-crypto army. And she would not have said that unless she had some polling data that said this is a good thing.
Even with all the losses that have been piling up,
we're a little bit in an echo chamber where we're talking to each other, and this is meaningful to us. No, I would be surprised if he's fired anytime soon.
All right, so the puppet masters are at work for sure. Here's a tweet right here. To satisfy the SEC's request, Cathie Wood's ARK Invest has had to amend its spot Bitcoin ETF app to declare that Bitcoin's energy consumption may have negative environmental consequences. That was the item right there. Additionally, right above that little red box, let me kind of zoom in on that for you guys. It says the actual or perceived use of Bitcoin and other digital assets in illicit transactions may adversely affect the Bitcoin industry. So these are the kind of things that are intricately being put into the language. Now, much like what you have with, the cigarette warnings, all those kind of things, that's what's happening here on an investment class. And I think most people will probably ignore that because nobody reads the fine print anyway. But the point that it's going in there is very interesting to me, and one that, kind of flows into the overall position of what everything is happening. Here's Eleanor Terra hitting it on the end. It's worth noting that this is a letter from Rep. James Comer, who has track record of showing he's not afraid of subpoena government agencies. He's given 1 week a deadline for Gary Gensler to produce the requested documents, and otherwise he's going to get a subpoena right there. Gary's going to get a subpoena from Congress, and we are now dealing with maybe some real teeth in Congress to get answers around this stuff, to truly find out what is happening over there at one of the top agencies in the land. All right, so if you guys want to jump into the Diamond Circle, make sure and click the link down below. We'll leave it for you guys there. If you want to reach me on X, it's @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.